Yeah. Well, I might break into song, because everybody knows I like to sing.
We know. All right, so good morning. Thank you for coming. So we have this awesome program called Comic Life, which we own. Right now it's on all of the computers in the computer lab, but that's the only place where it exists currently. So if you do want to use it, it has to be in the computer lab. My hope for this session this morning is just to give you a general overview of what the program can do, show you some examples of projects that people have done, and give you a chance to kind of play with it a little bit if we have time. And then Wendy has been playing with it quite a bit, and she's pretty tech savvy on how to actually manipulate the parts of the program. So she has offered to help us down the road if we need help with the technical pieces, or if you decide to do a project with your class, she's on board to help support you in the computer lab pieces of that. So they just came out with Comic Life 2. What we have is Comic Life 1, and there's really not a whole lot of differences between the two, but they have this good little 3-minute clip that's just kind of an overview that I thought I would share. Just so you know, our Comic Life 1 comes with templates for creating comics. Comic Life 2 comes with themed templates, like they have a Western theme one or like a travel theme one. We don't have those themed ones, but we do have templates, and that's going to be in the video, so just so you know, that's the one piece we don't have. Good morning.
Welcome to Comic Life 2. When you launch Comic Life, you'll see the template chooser, where you'll find a wide variety of professionally designed templates, ranging from creative to educational styles. We're going to start with a blank template so we can see just how easy it is to lay out a comic. Comic Life 2 has all the elements you'd expect in a photo comic publishing application. You can lay out panels in any manner you choose, and add lettering to make an attractive title. You can then adjust your elements with the tools in the format bar so it's exactly the way you want it. After you make your changes, you can easily redefine a style so that it will be automatically applied to all similar elements that share the same style. Reveal the style browser and click on the Update Style button. Now, all elements using that style are updated. Easy. There are many ways to add photos to your comic. Here we're using the integrated iPhoto browser to find the images we want to use. Images are automatically positioned and sized to fill the panels we laid out earlier. You can, of course, move and resize any image to best fit the panel. This is really starting to look like a comic, but let's filter these images so they have a more illustrated style. That looks good. Let's use that for all the images. Perfect. Now, let's tell our story. You can make fine adjustments to the balloon tails to make them fit your content perfectly. While the format bar is great for making common stylistic changes, to access all the tools, you want to use the inspector. Here, you'll find style, formatting, and layout tools to make fine adjustments to your comic. For example, this shadow needs to be a bit sharper. Much better. Starting with a template is as simple as picking one you like and double-clicking on it. The template automatically lays out the first page and presents the additional pages on the right. If you need even more layout options, you can select from a variety of designs on the Panel Layouts tab. But we'll stick with the template pages for now. You can customize any part of the template to suit your needs. Drag in photos from your iPhoto album or event. Your photos are sized and aligned with the panels so that you're almost done as soon as you've started. Once you're happy with the photo layout, you can add your speech balloons and captions. With Comic Life 2, you'll be creating great looking photo comics with ease.
The technical stuff looks a little tricky, but it really starts with just, putting in pictures and then putting in a little bit of text to getting really advanced, making all those funky changes to the photography and things like that. I wanted to show you, this is the website that the company that makes Comic Life, and in your handout, all these websites I'm going to show you are listed. But they have this nice education tab that has some sample ideas and ways that other people have used Comic Life. So Comic Life is essentially a publishing program. It's an option for publishing some sort of writing. So the precursor to that is obviously that there has been some writing done. So it could be personal narrative, expository reports, newsletters, newspaper timeline, really anything. But the students need to have a piece of writing that they're going to then determine what kind of pictures do I need to find to help illustrate this, what kind of text do I want to include, what might the speech be that the people are saying. So starting with a piece of writing and then deciding how they're going to publish it is the next step. Let me find a good example here. So here's a nice history example. This is a comic that's a day in the life of a slave. So the students did some research on what slaves' lives were like, and then they just mapped out what their day would look like and things they might say based on their experiences, things like that. So you can tie it in with social studies, which is really nice. There's a cool science example. It's kind of an earlier elementary example. It's the life cycle of a frog. So if you're studying life cycles or the water cycle or something in science, they just did 4 panels with one little box in each to talk about what the different life cycles were and what's happening. And we've been talking about summarizing a lot, and I think this kind of ties in with that because you obviously can't present the every detail of the story. So you have to kind of make some decisions about what's important and what are the key major events or major details that you want to represent. So that kind of ties in nicely there. In order for students to be able to do this, like I said, they need to have a piece of writing that they want to share. And then they talk about this process called storyboarding, where you kind of map out the pieces that you're going to represent in your comic. And I put some organizers in here, and I have not used any of these. They're just samples of ways that you could storyboard. So play with them and see. But you think about what do you want to show, or what kind of a picture are you going to search for? What's the text that you're going to put? If there's going to be a speech bubble, what are you going to put there? Then they also need to be able to find images. So searching on Google Images is an option, and saving those images to their own personal My Pictures folder. Right, Wendy, is that?
Their network folder.
Their network folder. Yesterday when we were playing with it, we saw that it worked if they just did copy and then paste right from the internet. And then also on this education tab, there's one that's called Sourcing Images, and there's a couple other sites that are good for searching images that you have access to also, like this Creative Commons, for example.
And they're not blocked by our system,
They're not
right?
blocked. I tried them and they
Oh,
weren't
here.
blocked. Yeah.
Oh, we'd have to check under a kid's login.
Oh, that's a great.
That's why we have a
Yes,
computer teacher.
because it's different for them.
That's
It is.
right. Wow, I haven't had any problem. We can try logging in.
Yeah,
as
I
a
don't know
student.
when Michael was doing it. I'm
Michael
not
was
sure.
just using Google Images.
Oh,
I
okay.
think.
Yeah, and they're limited on Google Images, but they can get stuff. I mean, you guys know.
And the other thing we talked about, and Wendy, this is really a question for you, with first grade teachers, that whole piece of searching for images and saving is kind of difficult. So if a teacher were to say to you, we're studying amphibians, would it be possible for you maybe to put together a file of amphibian type pictures so that way they're there? And I'll show you what it looks like. Here's what the actual Comic Life program looks like. And down here you can search for different albums. So this is my pictures. This is just under my personal pictures folder. But if you made a folder, Wendy, that was amphibians, you know, for kids who don't know how to search for images and do all of that, those extra steps, that could already be here for them.
Is there any drawing component in here?
The
Or you
drawing?
have to import it?
I think think you have to scan and import them,
Okay.
but that's an option too. I mean,
Cause I'm just thinking like if we,